Jets aren't very good. Are changes going to be made in the offseason? Well, it depends if Rodgers wants to make changes. Article in The Athletic, Zach Rosenblatt writes, Rodgers, who turns 40 on Saturday, might wield more power than any other player in the NFL. It goes beyond the personal influence he deployed this offseason. If he says that he'll return only if this coaching staff remains intact, then it will be locked in and safe. Nick, your reaction?
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, the shadow GM, had a disastrous offseason. You can't let him do it again. The only people who liked the Jets' offseason moves that I know of were Aaron Rodgers and Chris Broussard. Alan Lazard, Nick, I like Alan Lazard. How many times I have to hear that? Al Lazard, 4 years, $44 million, 22 guaranteed. He has 20 catches, 290 yards. You're down on Dalvin Cook? I was. As it turns out, the NFL was for a reason. I know you like Dalvin Cook. He has, let me check, 162 yards on 50 carries. Now, we all agreed that Randall Cobb was there to be his friend, and that's what he's been. He's been targeted 12 times, his 3 catches for 12 yards.
That was kind of his...
That's fine. It wasn't a lot of money. That's fine. They weren't counting on Cobb, but that's still a roster spot. Just like Tim Boyle. Not counting on Tim Boyle. That's a roster spot. So that's the personnel that Rodgers wanted them to bring in. I'm not even counting Billy Turner because, listen, who needs a backup tackle? Oh, wait, desperately the Jets. But they use, I mean, that's 10% of the roster on Rodgers' friends. Then, Nat Hackett's never shown he can do this. Never.
Well, Jacksonville that 1 year.
Well, yeah, he was a coordinator in Jacksonville 3 years.
But I'm just
they had a bottom 5 offense 2 of the 3. They were good the middle year. That's true. Mm-hmm. And, Robert Saleh last year finished the year on a 6-game losing streak. This year could finish the year on a 10-game losing streak. It's certainly on the board. Now, they do get the Patriots again, but who knows? So I don't know. I mean, Saleh is pacing towards being a bottom 10 all-time winning percentage coach post-merger with at least 50 games. So my question, Greg, is what does Rodgers actually want? Power or the best chance to win? Because if he wants the best chance to win, he's going to let this team do what's best, which is massive changes on the offensive side of the football from a personnel and coaching standpoint. If it's power, then wield the power, but it'll be for naught.
Now, it would be easy for me to agree with everything that you said.
Because it's so smart?
Well, because, number one, all smart of the things that you just laid out.
That's what it was.
It's true.
Thank you.
They haven't panned out. But the reason why we can't truly assess any of that, the players and or the coaching staff, and Hackett being the primary individual here, is because Aaron Rodgers didn't even get a chance to play.
Thank you, Greg.
So if you have him under center, like, I don't care who you were and what team you root for, you believed that he gave this team a chance to win. We saw it in Green Bay. Like, we saw it year after year after year. It did not matter who he had at his disposal. He was going to provide you with an opportunity and a chance to compete. When we look at this Jets defense, we knew what they were. The one question that we had revolving around this Jets team was under center. And the question still remains to date. Because they don't have the guy that they sold their souls for in Aaron Rodgers under center. Had he been under center for more than, 4 snaps, Alan Lazard, who I was not high on, even with the trade or with the acquisition, he would be better. Randall Cobb, probably going to be Randall Cobb at this stage in his career, but he would even be better. The offensive line would even, they probably are still bad, but they would even look better because of you. You have a guy who understands what protection to get him in, how to get rid of the ball, when to get rid of the ball, where he's going, what pre-snap.
Brew, would you run it back with this coaching staff?
Well, look, a lot of what you said obviously is true, but here's the thing. Are they going to win a Super Bowl next year? No. All right. But their best chance to have, I think, their best season, which would probably be make the playoffs, maybe you get a win, you're frisky. I think it's with a coaching staff and personnel that Rodgers feels comfortable with. He likes this offense. A lot of it is not going to be Nat Hackett. It's going to be Rodgers deciding what they do, and Hackett will let him do that. And Saleh, he likes it. Look, I'm not saying Saleh's been great. Obviously, the record is poor. But he's a defensive coach, and their defense is legit. And they've got a good receiver in Wilson. Now, I would like to add another, lower rung receiver.
Sure.
But I think with the receivers, with the run game, their priority this offseason should be the offensive line.
Of course.
But I think their best chance is to run it back with this group because that's what Rodgers wants.
Okay. We'll see.
Greg, your reaction to seeing Aaron Rodgers on the practice field? Greg?
Exactly, that's my reaction.
Oh!
That is my. Look, I don't care that he's on the practice field. Like, we saw him just kind of limp out there. That's fine. I think it's cute. Let me see him in pads. Let me see him actually under center, taking snaps and running the plays that an offensive
Got a helmet
play
on.
caller is
Got a
gonna have
helmet
to
on.
run.
Alert.
This all means nothing right now. He's gonna play. It's if he decides to play, I'm all for it. I want to see it.
This year?
I will tell you this though, all that coaching staff and everybody that we're talking about that has the job security. If anything is to happen to that young man and he comes back and plays, you're all fired.
Well,
Get him out of here.
Look, I agree with you. I don't think he's going to play, and I don't think it's a huge deal. But I do think this boosts team morale. I think them seeing him, even though they're probably thinking he's not going to play, just seeing he worked this hard to get out here after less than 3 months and throw the football with us, be here with us, go through whatever he's doing out there with us. I think that boosts team morale. And I'll say this, Greg. Let's say if he's ready to play at some point and they're out of it and he wants to play, I would bet those players encourage him not to play. But they'll be like, man, wait, save it for next year. We see you.
Is that how it works?
No, I think that's what they would say. But if they got 9 losses and he's ready to play, they should be like, man, Aaron, look, you did a great job.
I mean, they could do
Don't
it right
come back.
now.
Nah, let him have his fun. But
listen.
I wouldn't bring him back.
I don't know why you guys are so skeptical. I believe Aaron Rodgers. Okay. I do. He told us through the powers of not-so-modern medicine and his own unique healing techniques, he's shattering records. He just keeps shattering them. We've seen him on camera before many nationally televised games throwing around the football. Yes. And now we have seen him on the practice field. Yeah. And it's the 21-day window. He said his goal was to get back to practice before his birthday. His birthday is in 3 days, and he beat that goal, and he's going to play. And by the way, by his target date, just looking at the AFC standings, the Jets will not be mathematically eliminated. As long as, and we learned last year from the Packers, if they're not mathematically eliminated, everything's on the table. No reason to play Jordan Love anything. Let's keep going. So I expect to see Aaron Rodgers play football this year. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.